Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kasha here. So for this video, how to get over heartbreak. So basically, this will be my own personal series of self-love, like self-love journey playlist, I guess. And you know, as someone who has had heartbreak, I think in March, and me applying these tips into my own life, I feel like it's helped me. It could help you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, heartbreak is just one of those things that just happen and it sucks. It's like one of the worst feelings in the world. It's always with the people who you least expect it to happen, or the person that you think will be your forever. When that comes to an end, it's so crazy how one person can affect you so much. Cry it all out. Just cry so much to where you just can't cry anymore, because it's just so many emotions that you're experiencing. And I personally feel like if you try to basically hold it all in, it'll explode one day for no reason, like just watching some random video on TikTok and the next thing you know you're crying because that video reminds you of that person somehow. Like for me, like someone made a video on Tangled and I started crying because that person liked Tangled, and then I'm like, ah. So I would say just cry it all out to where your eyes are swollen, you can't breathe. Try to cry out all of the emotions and sadness out with the lights off so no one can see it. You can't see yourself crying with sad music. And then afterwards, take a nap. Because after all of that crying, it's so draining that you're just like, let's take a nap. So yeah, talk about it as much as you need to or you want to, just so you can get everything off your chest, basically. Everything what happened, what you miss about that person, what you hate about that person. If you talk about it so much to someone, eventually you'll get tired of talking about the situation. You'll want to stop talking about the situation and you just won't want to think about that person to where you just won't want to think about them, and the next thing you know, you're not thinking about them. Take a good hard look at yourself and that person and basically reflect on what happened. I've overanalyzed every little thing that happened and everything that led up to our separation. Reflect on what you did wrong, what they did wrong, because sometimes when we're emotional, we miss the larger picture of what actually happened. What I did was that I made a voice memo about what happened and what I was thinking like throughout those moments, basically what I wondered. Write about it or make a video of basically how it happened, like how you guys met, when you first started liking them, all of your firsts with that person, and then like what led up to the separation, if that makes sense. Figure out what they taught you. I personally feel like every single person that has entered people's lives is for a reason. During the relationship situation or even friendship, you might have had like a dream version of them somehow, and that's why you stayed for as long as you did. Just write down what they taught you in that situation and how you can learn. And I feel like with that, you can also separate the person from the emotions that you're feeling so that you can really look at it for what it was. And quite frankly, if you don't learn from that person, they'll reappear and be worse, or you'll like meet them in someone else, so it's like another cycle and another heartbreak. And you basically have to keep doing the same thing until you finally learned what you were supposed to learn and how you can move on to the next level of your life. Get rid of all their stuff. All their stuff. Nothing. It sounds hard, yeah. Do you really want bad energy in your space? And I also feel like if you have something up there, it makes it harder to move on, because you'll constantly have that reminder of that one person. Like if you don't truly care, then sure. But I feel like if you truly didn't care, you wouldn't be watching this video. Make a playlist. It can be anything that you want. Like it can be a sad girl hour playlist, a playlist to work out to, a runway walk when you're walking the hallways, walking the street. Have a playlist that you can do your runway walk. Why? Because you're a model. song. Music says the words that we're unable to articulate ourselves. So it can be very therapeutic to make a playlist of what we're experiencing or what we want to become. I love songs where it sounds like really arrogant. It's a girl, she's sounding like very conceited, confident, very arrogant, and if it's a male artist, he's like obsessed with me and he's singing to me. Why? Because he's obsessed with me. Then hang out with your friends, family, but if that's not an option, take yourself on a little date. Just take yourself out on a little date. Sometimes we just need to spend time with people who we love or who we care about, and vice versa. It's really important to remind ourselves that we have a good support system when we need help. But like I said, if that's not an option, take yourself out, buy yourself some flowers, write my name in the sand. Let's say that you have family and friends. I think you should still take yourself out, because who's gonna treat yourself better than you? So wear something that makes you feel attractive, confident, like queen, and basically spend the whole day with yourself and do something fun, like get your nails done, try a new restaurant, work out, take yourself on a little shopping spree. That sounds fun. Just something fun. This sounds really cliche. It really does, but start writing a journal. Start writing a journal. It sounds really cliche and people say that it just doesn't work. If it doesn't work for you, it's worked for me, and I know that it'll work for someone else. I usually journal when I feel very much out of control and like I'm about to spiral or I'm spiraling. So journaling has really helped me feel in control of my life somehow. I don't know what the psychology behind that is. I'm not saying to journal every day, because that can get kind of that's too much of a commitment to some people, and I am one of those people. So just journal when you want to or when you remember to do that. I looked up fun little journal prompts, how to get to know your inner child, self-love prompts, just so you can know yourself better. I also recommend some shadow work, because sometimes we're not self-aware and we sometimes don't truly know how we affect others truly. So I feel like if you work on your shadow self, it can really give you some self-awareness. Focus on your goals. I can assume that most of your attention and time was on that person. So now it's time to take all of that energy that you gave from that person and bring it onto you. So now you can have a healthier sleep schedule, because sometimes we just are talking to someone till 4 a.m. when we have to get up at 7 a.m. but we don't care because we like that person so much, but not anymore. No. Focus on your dreams and goals. I had my heartbreak towards the end of the school year and I got so depressed. I was so depressed and so unmotivated, yet I knew that I wanted all A's. But sometimes when you just don't feel like it, you just don't feel like it. I knew that if I was too in my feelings, I didn't achieve what I truly wanted to, later on I would have felt regretful of that. So what I did was that I basically forced myself to do homework, study, and spoiler alert, I got all A's. Yes, I did. Yeah, why? Because Kosh is simply that girl. And honestly, at the end of the year, I was so proud of myself that I was just really proud of myself, and I kept my eyes on the prize. Here is a little quote from the queen herself, Blair Waldorf.
Forget boys. Keep your eye on the prize, Jenny Humphrey. You can't make people love you, but you can make them fear you.
And quite frankly, what's scarier than someone who achieved all their goals? T was spelled. Don't communicate with them and don't try to get your closure. I feel like you can't really seek peace in the same place that gave you chaos almost. Sometimes we want that closure as an excuse to talk to them again. Also, don't wish them happy birthday. Just gotta put that out there. Don't wish them happy birthday. Or just like, we just want some validation in that final conversation for some odd reason. Weird. Like, you're worthy of an explanation. Instead of looking for closure from that person, receive closure from within. Ooh, that sounds very cliche, very philosophical, but you know what? I'm speaking facts. This is bars. Don't be too hard on yourself if you slip up, because it truly is a self-love journey. I had my first heartbreak when I was about 15. That hurt. But, you know, recently having it, I didn't remember it hurting that much. Like, what? One day you'll feel like really confident, F her, F him, I'm definitely fine. But then the next day, you're crying. Like, what? What? You see that person with someone new and it puts you in this weird spiral. Or it's like if you look at old pictures, video, rereading old messages, and you might think like, how did that person move on so fast? Like, they look so fine and like they don't care. And you know what? That's honestly normal. What truly makes it a journey is that you don't really know when's the last time that you'll cry about that person. Somewhere in your future, you'll be at a certain point where you truly do not care. You truly do not care. I'm not saying that it'll happen like in 2 weeks. Like, it might take, I don't know, like a year for some people, but eventually you will get there. I promise you that. And at the end of it, you'll be so proud of yourself for healing yourself and how much you've developed from that situation. Last, this is my favorite tip number 10. Make a vision board of your perfect person. I've honestly don't really hear a lot of people talking about this tip. So basically now that you've done all the hard stuff, let's get to the fun stuff. Making a vision board. It can be like an actual vision board, or you can have Pinterest on your phone and basically make a board of your perfect person. And isn't that so exciting? What? Yeah, your ex wasn't meant for you, so now it's time to create your perfect person. So once you've already created them on your vision board or your Pinterest, it's time to work on yourself, babes. It's honestly not fair to invite a amazing person into your life when you're not healed or you're not your ideal self. Because how can you expect an ideal person when you're not your ideal self yet? You know? Because let's say they do show up, you're gonna self-sabotage some way, or you just won't be ready. And know what? We're not gonna do that to ourselves. Why? Because we love ourselves and we care about our well-being and our mental health. In order to meet your person, you must know yourself first. Where did I hear that from? Sex Life from Netflix. That show was so good. Second season was my favorite. I got distracted. So since you're already moved on and you've created your perfect person, it's time to get ready, aka self-love. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. So basically the next video will be how to enter your self-love era. I'm very excited for this series. I've been into the concept of self-love maybe for the past 2 years. So I'm really excited to basically share what I've learned and what I'm learning. Little piece of advice. I'm not saying that after this video you'll be completely healed. At least you're making the steps to get over it. And to be quite honest, you don't want that person to come back, because let's say they were toxic, you ended it, they ended it, doesn't matter. You don't want them to reappear. Why? Because quite frankly, if they had the audacity to do what they did, and they have the audacity to come back after they know what they did, when they know that it's wrong, I'm not trying to be mean, but they'll know that you don't have self-respect for yourself, or that you don't make the smartest choices when it comes to people, so let them back in. And you don't want that. Okay, so honestly, it's honestly a really good sign if they don't come back, because they know that you respect yourself and that you're smarter and better than them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I have Instagram and TikTok, so I'll put it in the video. And I hope you guys, I honestly hope this video helped you. And if it didn't, rewatch it. YouTubers who I've watched to help with heartbreak, ShalynXO. Yes, she's been controversial. Yeah, but you know what? I love her, honestly. ShalynXO. She's the OG. For me, ShalynXO, Wizard Liz, and then Shira7. Shira7's funny. But I'd say like my top 2 is ShalynXO and Wizard Liz. So check out those channels out too. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And I hope you guys get in a happy mindset and you're safe. And